Hey, it's Loaf. Most of you that watch the channel aren't subscribed, so if you like our content and want to see more, simply tossing us a like and slapping that subscribe button really helps this channel grow. Today's story comes from YouTuber and internet personality, Boogie2988. Before we get into the actual story, here's a bit of context. The story begins with a former YouTuber by the name of Frank Hassel. Originally, Frank had his channel terminated for uploading content that violated YouTube's terms of service. His videos often included going up to random people in public and harassing them for content. To make matters worse, Frank has also blamed Boogie for the suspension of his channel.
Several months ago, this guy decided that it was his decision to start stalking me and harassing me, threatening me mentally, physically, threatening to come to my home, threatening to harm me when he did.
At the time, Keemstar hosted an interview with the two, to which Frank Hassel had threatened to travel across several states to further harass Boogie. He was also seen tweeting out this: "I'm in Fayetteville, In the unreleased interview with Keemstar, Boogie gave Frank a warning message. Despite the multiple warnings, Frank Hassel still decided to show up at Boogie's residence. During the confrontation, Boogie was seen opening the door with a firearm and allegedly fired a warning shot into the air. Breaking, we now have pic of Boogie pointing gun at Frank Hassel. Following the incident, he was seen tweeting out this: "I will be honest. As serious as scary this was for me, I am getting a kick out or the memes. Send what you got. I deal with every trauma through comedy, and this is wow, I'm dealing with this." That and the cops, of course. This brings us to the current situation where things have escalated further. YouTuber Boogie currently has a warrant out for his arrest in Washington County for aggravated assault. The bond is set at $5,000. No telling at this point what the circumstances of the charge entail. In a phone call with Keemstar, it was confirmed that this stemmed from the initial confrontation involving Frank Hassel. Many were furious with the situation and opted to defend Boogie. People are actually agreeing with this warrant. Homie had a dude that was threatening and trespassing on his property who was told to leave multiple times. Next time, he should just shoot the dude from the window the moment he steps on his property, and don't agree with guns usually. Frank Hassel is a total bellend, and he's gonna piss off the wrong person one day. He's just lucky Boogie isn't itching to kill someone. Well, that's a bit harsh. I mean, that guy did trespass on Boogie's house, didn't he? So him holding the gun was self-defense, surely. That Frank guy should be arrested, not Boogie. Frank Hassel did nothing wrong, lol. He literally stalked and harassed Boogie, but okay.
For months and months of this harassment, Boogie was terrified. I know, because I talked to him. He was terrified that Frank was coming. I kept telling Boogie, Frank's not really coming to your house. But Frank did show up to his house. Oh, he's looking at a federal charge. Someone harassed the shit out of him online, went to his house, he fires a gun, and he's the one that's looking at jail. Are you serious?
Others were against Boogie. It's not legal to shoot a warning shot. You cannot fire at all unless you fear that you or another person are in imminent danger of serious bodily harm. He could have stayed inside, but he came out and was confrontational. He never could have used lethal force anyway. Boogie, 5'10", 450 pounds, could have just kept the door closed. He didn't. He met his aggressor. He stood face to face. Frank didn't have a weapon. Boogie, 5'10", 450 did. Frank didn't fire a weapon. Boogie, 5'10", 450 did. There are no laws preventing Frank from knocking on his door. He fired into the air in an urban, suburban area. Do you know how dangerous that is? Was he terrified of the sky? Because he shot in the air and not at Frank. Warning shots are not allowed in virtually any state. You get in more trouble with a warning shot versus shooting a person in a state with a castle doctrine, funny enough. Months prior to the warrant that was issued, Boogie was seen saying this.
So for those of you who don't know, a dude was harassing me online for quite some time. And then eventually, I told him if he ever showed up at my front door, I would have to hurt him. And then he showed up at my front door and I pulled a weapon. And fortunately, he turned his tail and ran before I had to hurt him. That person has gone on to do some horrible stuff to other people. I've talked about it in therapy. I feel guilty for the other people he's hurt. And he's going to go on to continue to hurt many other people. And it keeps me awake at night because I feel responsible. The thing is, that day I chose not to hurt him because I didn't want to ruin the rest of my life. I didn't want to go to jail. I didn't want to deal with legal trouble. I didn't want to ruin my life to save other people's lives. And I feel stupid and guilty for it.
To which Frank Castle commented, "This guy is saying he regrets not killing me because he thinks he would have saved other people's lives. Totally deluded and demented. He think and talks about me all day long. Lol." Nice loot crate clothes, by the way. Despite the severity of the situation, one user took advantage of it and made merch. That was quick. Probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. Boogie was later seen tweeting out about the situation. So, news circulating around me. Can't really comment for obvious reason. Thank you and anyone for support in this situation though. I am gonna do the right thing and do it by the book. Glad to cooperate with authorities. Heading back home today to do so. Just want to say thank you to those of you who have supported me at one time or another over the years. Bigger thank you to those who support me still now and with what's going on. Thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I will speak with you again soon. This has nothing to do with suicide or anything for those who might think that. Just logging off social media for a few days to resolve all that cop stuff. According to the phone call with Keem, Boogie plans to turn himself in and cooperate with the authorities. As for Frank Hassel, he was seen further commenting on the situation. I hope he gets the help he needs. In contrary to his tweet, Frank Hassel was seen starting a petition titled, "Give Boogie2988 the death penalty," with the description saying he needs to go. If it wasn't already absurd enough, the petition has received over 2,800 votes. What Boogie did was awful. It could have been one of my children in that school that was shot up. I don't actually have any children, but if I did, it could have been one of the kids who died in that school, or whatever happened. What did happen actually? He's a danger to others. Boogie purposely ignored the definition of the Castle Doctrine. Frank Hassel should have been able to go into his house and f*** him. This is undeniable. Boogie should be put to death to remind everyone that the law is the law. Thank you for your service, Frank. My family had to move to another state after this beast shot at my daughter's school. We lived 2 houses down from him, and my little girl was always afraid of this man. But we made sure to keep her away from him. I should send him an invoice for her therapy bills and our moving expenses. It's been a long time coming, but now is our chance to rid the world of this monster. We will no longer have to live in fear. He's a menace to society, and we would all feel safer if he were gone. Many fans shared their thoughts in support of Boogie. Hope your lawyer shows this was simply done so you didn't take his life. He was the threat. He came to you. You showed restraint when many others wouldn't have. The video shows the man was clearly out of his mind. With the crazy laughing, he was legit an in-person troll. Boogie was the victim of online harassment which turned to real-life harassment. He should not be held accountable for simply wanting to protect himself. Anyone saying otherwise doesn't even know the story. You're a good person, Boogie. You'll get through this. At the moment, there's a new mugshot of Boogie making rounds on Twitter. Additionally, Boogie himself once tweeted out to thank his community for all the support. The overwhelming support from both my local community and the YouTube community has been incredible. Thank you for lending your voice and your strength. Love you all. Anyway, that's all for today. What do you guys think? Who's the bad guy here? Boogie or Frank Hassel? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep it fresh. See ya.